Alrighty, hello and welcome to today's Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, we are going to do tapping or EFT tapping together. I'm going to go through just a few housekeeping details of how it works, and then we'll get right into the process. If it is your first time here, welcome. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. I'm so happy to be able to be here with you almost every week. Last week, just so that you know, those of you who had come, and I'm so sorry. I always feel terrible when you have an expectation, and I am trying my best, but it's just not working out. YouTube changed some policies, and since this is not my personal channel, this channel belongs to EFT Universe, which is the company who created clinical EFT, Dr. Dawson Church. If you're not aware of all of those names, there you go. That's who we are. It changed my access to being able to go live, but we weren't made aware of it until I tried, and it didn't work. So that's what happened last week, and I am so sorry for that. But it should not happen again. We have backups, and we've got it figured out now. So very happy to be here with you today. The way that this works, just in case you are unfamiliar, tapping is emotional freedom techniques, also known as tapping because of this motion. If you don't know what it is, that's okay. Just follow along with me. You'll have it down by the end of the session. What it is great for is releasing overwhelm and trauma and stress. And it has to do with this really cool effect that it has on the conscious and the subconscious brain and how they talk to each other. I don't go into an explanation of it other than to clarify like little small questions, but we have hundreds of videos on our channel which can get into all of the science and the studies and the clinical outcomes to that if you're interested. And while reading about that is really cool, feeling the changes in your body is really, really impactful in a more intimate way so that you can have confidence in it working for you, not just generally, wow, that's a really cool thing that exists out there. So that's the intention of today. And there's a couple of different ways that you can participate in that to experience EFT for yourself. One would be just that you're here. Even just watching and listening can have an impact on things that you are going through, even if we don't cover subjects that directly affect the things that are stressful in your life right now. Next tier to that would be following along. So tapping along on the different spots. I tend to not go through all of the tapping spots. If you've done EFT before, then you know there's kind of a protocol, right? We start here, and then we go top of the head, and we go along these acupoints on the body, and kind of go in a cycle. The reason I tend to stay on one spot is because I want to be very boring. I'm here to give you suggestions and guidance where I want your focus and your attention is on your own experience. So in your own body. I don't want you to be really, hitting a good spot here and then looking at me and then seeing I'm already here or I'm back here and then being pulled out of that healing space that you're finding. So follow along with me if you feel uncertain or lost. Otherwise, please give yourself permission to tap as long or as in whatever way that you want to tap on any of the spots. And I say that because, some people like to tap like this, some people tap like this, some people do the touch and breathe method. Whatever feels good to you right now, that's what's correct. All right. If you want to give suggestions for topics to tap on, we do have a live chat. It is going the entire session. I do my very best to look at all of the suggestions and keep up with it as we're going through the hour and incorporate as many together as I can. If I choose something that doesn't really have to do with what you're going through, I will give you some suggestions on how you can alter that to make it your own. And again, please feel free to take that and run with it and make it whatever you need it to be for this to feel like it's benefiting you. If you have something you want to suggest, but it just feels a little too personal to put in the chat, that's okay. You can email me, which I put at the top of the chat. I'll also speak it out loud. My email is fable, FABLE, at EFTuniverse.com. You can send it to me there. I can keep you anonymous if you would like, and I will bring it up the following week in our tapping session. So it's not as immediate, but it can feel a little bit more safe if what you're bringing up just feels vulnerable. I do have two emails to offer into the lot of what we're going to tap on today. But first, I will say hello to everyone in the chat, and then we'll get into subject matter. We will take a moment to ground, and we'll go right into our tapping session. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, hold on. There we go. Sometimes it does this thing where it only gives me a few of the messages. Hello, Ejude. I'm not quite sure how that would be happiest for me to pronounce. Hello, Mama Hutch. Glad to have you here. Hi, Cherry. I learned tapping from my psychologist for my CRPS sickness. Okay, I don't know what the acronym of CRPS stands for, but I love that you learned from your psychologist. That's a great place to learn it. And I love that you're here. And Mama Hutch started with the tapping solution app. Yeah, that's a great way that so many people have become more aware of EFT because of that. I'm so grateful that they created that. Judd. Okay. Thank you, Judd. Hello, Tanya. Lovely, Tanya. Happy to have you here. Hi, Mary. Okay. If possible, could you work in nerve pain? Okay. From repetitive strain injury. Absolutely. We'll find some point where you can add that in, even if we don't do directly on the physical body. Hello, beautiful Anya. Happy to have you here. Hi, Helen from Koh Samui in Thailand. I'm so happy to have you here. Alrighty, let's go ahead. I'm going to give you the two offers that we've had from our community members. One is talking a little bit more about, let's see, what do I want to call it? Weaponized procrastination. Where it is procrastination to a point of it is creating negative outcomes where it's not just, oh, now I have to hurry, or oh, now I'm stressed, but I've missed opportunities. I've missed things that really would have made a big difference in my life if I had engaged them. And they mentioned that they did all the other steps except take action. And just feeling a lot of confusion and frustration within that space of, why can I do everything but take action? Even when I'm intelligent enough, I'm informed enough, I'm educated enough to know that this would be a good thing, but I don't physically take that action. And they didn't mention that it felt unsafe necessarily, just stuck, like just not allowed, not capable, there's just this gap of action. And I really appreciate that being brought up because I think this can apply to multiple things, right? I know I'm supposed to be eating better, but I'll even buy better food, but then I don't eat it. Or I know I'm supposed to be going to bed at a certain time and I even get ready to go to bed, but then I don't. There's a lot of ways that we can get in our own way with this exact description and just kind of pick up the template and put it somewhere else. And there's a couple of different things that are kind of like known roots that create that, but we can see how that might pop out and what's in the way. The other suggestion that we were given through a community member via email is about intimacy. And I really was intrigued by this and love this because I would say this isn't something that has come up much in our live taps. And maybe because it is really vulnerable to put out there, right? So this person was saying that it's just overwhelming to figure out how to meet people. And then once there's a physical person there, like the protocol of communicating with that person. And it also seemed to be a little bit of permission to go at their own pace rather than feeling pressured to meet the pace of the environment. So feeling a lot of stress of, well, if I want to meet someone, then it has to be in the way that this exists and not what feels comfortable and safe for me. But like those are my only two choices is what this person was expressing and how they felt, which we could also take that template, right, and translate that to a job or an education experience or a family member or a friendship. There are a lot of different ways that we also feel those constraints on what I will call our free will, right? Where if we want this outcome, then we have to give up the way that we would feel comfortable receiving that. Alrighty, I saw the chat going quite a bit, so I will let that be the explanation for the emails that we got. I'm going to look at the other messages here, and then we will jump right into our tap. Well, right into grounding. Hello, Serena. Thank you. Yes, last week was stressful. I actually got a migraine. I was so stressed out trying to make it work to where I could go online that I got a migraine. Hello, Andrew in Poland. So glad to have you here. Helen. Okay, suffering a relapse, currently excruciating neurological pain. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. I hope you feel relief immediately as we start to tap. Okay. Vote for procrastination. Jet saying yes. Serena, I relate to that. No clue why I can't take actions. Okay. And Helen considering to revisit stem cell therapy. Okay. Weaponized procrastination. Okay. And Mama Hutch welcoming everybody. All right, let's get grounded. You can tell I need it, right? I'm a little bit scattered. All right, let's just take a breath in and out. And we're just going to sit for a few moments. Just sit and breathe. Let's take another breath in and out. Okay. The way we're going to get present right now, if it's too stimulating for you, then you can definitely do a lesser version. I'm going to do brushing the body. And it's a very gentle, you're just going to use your fingertips and we're just going to brush. So like brushing from your shoulder, anything from your core out. Okay, so we're going to do that on all of our limbs. Just brushing our arms. And what this does is we're kind of stimulating our nerves, but with like a light, kind of gentle touch, right? We're drawing our attention to our body, maybe places we haven't really thought of or felt in a little while, especially if we've been worried about things. This feels pleasing. It feels gentle and calming to the brain. You can go a lot slower than what I'm doing too. What I'm doing might be kind of fast for you. So you can do it very slow and soft and gentle. You can use just your fingertips if that's what feels nice. You can use more pressure, a little bit squeezy if that's what feels good to you. Go with whatever your body is saying, whatever feedback you're getting. And we're just going to gently brush. Like we're brushing away whatever the stagnant energy is that's in our bodies right now, whether you've got anxiety or pain or stuck energy, depression, sadness, tiredness, sluggishness. Go down your legs as best you can. You know, if you're in a position where you can't reach all of your body parts, that's okay. Just kind of sweep off with the intention of like you've given enough motion to that movement that it's just going to keep moving on, even if you can't actually touch like all the way down to your toes. Okay. And then we're going to get our back by starting just at our shoulders here. And then as far as you can, not as far as you can. If you're hypermobile in your arms, press it because that's not good for your joints. For your back, kind of equal, you know, just kind of your low back. You can reach back there. If you can't quite reach your low back, that's okay. Your sides, reaching across your middle. Just have that intention that the swipes that you're doing, you're getting your back. You're moving that energy. Okay. And we get to our heads. And if it feels good to sweep up, then great. If it feels better to go down, then just kind of go down and off the shoulders. Okay. Down and off the neck so that it doesn't feel like you're kind of replacing it down into this nice clear area that we just created. Okay. And now let's go ahead and take another breath. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna check. Let's see. Anya, looks like chakra lighting in the background. Is that right? Oh, over here. No, it's my keyboard. It's a gamer keyboard. I'm not a gamer, but I really love bright colors. So I got one. Um, Hello, MS. It's good to have you here. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get to our first tap. I know there was a lot of, oh, Veronica, this feels good. Good. I love that. Um, that's the whole intention. So I love that you're already feeling that. Yay. Sweeping off crap. Yay. Yeah. Do that as much as you want. You cannot overdo that for your nervous system. That will always be yummy. Let's do the weaponized procrastination because there was a lot of people who really felt that a connection to that suggestion. So for the frozenness of moving forward, let's go ahead and tap while we're talking. There are a few words that I like to ask about usually when going into this subject. There's usually a sense of fear or doubt, confusion. Sometimes it's surrounding safety. Sometimes it's surrounding permission. And sometimes, if you've done a lot of work and you're feeling really frustrated and confused because you're going, I am so much better off than I used to be. Why can't I do this? And I love answering that question because when we're taught about healing, there's so much talk about what to let go of, but not a lot of talk about what to bring in, other than like good feelings and happiness and all of that stuff, which is important. But what about other practices? What about how do I build new rules? How do I build a new process for doing something? A lot of times that's where the stuck feeling comes from, is because I don't know how to move forward anymore. The way I moved forward before, I deconstructed, and I don't want that back. But now how do I do it? I don't. It's like someone says, no, 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 don't use your hands to eat. Okay, I won't do that anymore. But now what do I use? How do I eat if I'm not using my hands? And that kind of a metaphor, the brain really struggles with. So whatever of that, if something kind of, oh, I relate to that. Great. Use that in your words as we tap on this. Okay. And the phrasing that I'm going to use, procrastinate to the point of, gosh, I keep thinking of the word destruction, but that's so intense. Thwarting myself. I'm just going to say destruction. And if that doesn't fit for you, then, of course, choose your own words always. I just feel like this one needs to be a little bit strongly worded. So, alrighty. As I begin to focus in on how I procrastinate to the point of destruction, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I absolutely hate the fact that I do this and it always ends up hurting me in some way, and I don't know how to fix it yet, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I can identify what I believe to be harmful practices that I do, and I don't know why, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. My procrastination my destructive procrastination. I wonder, why would I do this? Why do I stop myself? Is it because it's not perfect and I need to be perfect? I have to be perfect, or none of it matters anyway? Is it because I have to fight for it? I have to mess it up first, and then it's safe for me to try. Even if I do this to myself for these or other reasons, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, do I need to know why I do this in order to stop doing this? Yes. No. I don't know. I think so. Whether or not I feel like I need to know everything about why I do this, I wonder, will that give me permission to change? Will that give me what I need to make a different choice? Because it's not that I don't know what to choose or I don't see what to try. I just won't do it. And then I have a lot of opinions about why I won't do it. And none of them are nice. And all of them are a lot of judgment. So I guess I must believe that when I'm struggling and I'm stuck, it must be met with harshness. When I'm struggling and I'm stuck, it must be met with coldness, mean energy, aggressiveness. It must be met with pushing myself, making myself do something, or being really hateful about why I didn't. I wonder, where did I learn that? Where would I have learned that when I'm struggling, when I'm stuck, and it is really frustrating, and I'm trying and I don't know how to do better, that what I deserve is something worse? I wonder what would happen if I offered myself something else instead. What if I offered myself kindness or understanding or support or protection? No, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, I deserve punishment when I don't do what I know I'm supposed to. I deserve punishment when I know I can move forward and I don't. I deserve punishment if I don't meet expectations. I deserve punishment if something is clearly laid out, yet I can't meet it. Even if right now there's some part of me that feels that deserving harshness in response is accurate. And that hasn't worked out really well for me so far. It hasn't really solved anything. It hasn't really worked for it to get better. So maybe I try something new. And maybe it's silly. And maybe it doesn't work. But what if it does? What if it does work? What if I try something radically different and that's the thing? Okay, well, I suppose it's worth a try. My procrastination, my weaponized procrastination, my painful results, something different, trying something different. Okay, but what? What can I try? Because what I need is a solution, right? Or is it true that I already have the solution? Maybe what I need is something else. It's not like I need more of a solution. It's already there. I already know what to do. I guess it's kind of like if I have a car but no gas, I don't need more car. I know what vehicle is going to get me moving. Maybe I just need to figure out what's missing from my vehicle. Maybe it's something that's more important than I've allowed it to be. I wonder what's important for my success. Important. What's important for me? Maybe I've never asked myself this before because success has always looked like pleasing somebody else. So I don't know how to do that yet for me. So what could that look like? Maybe I can ask myself like another person sitting in front of me. Maybe I could write out my worries and concerns, validate all the ways that I feel. It's okay if something I'm trying feels nervous. It doesn't mean it won't work, but it is okay to discuss it. Maybe I need more support, more encouragement. Maybe I need more time. Maybe I need smaller increments. Whatever it is, if I am giving myself the signal to stop, maybe I also can listen to find out how to go. And maybe if I change where the pressure is that I'm applying, change the boundary of that from, oh, you better succeed, you better do it, you better get it done. Change it from that to, you better be honest with me. You better be honest with me on everything that you're feeling about this. You better be honest with me on what your boundaries are, how hard we can push on this. You better feel safe in this. That's a hard one. You better feel happy. That one can be tricky too. But what is it? What is the gas that I need for this car? Because isn't it true that if I'm capable and I can clearly see the steps, but something's missing, I need something. And it's not judgment, it's not harshness. And I may have a good idea of what that is right now. I may have no clue. And I'm not really sure even where to begin. Even if I have no idea where to start, I know that I have myself. And I know how to ask questions. And I trust that as I give myself permission to move forward in a way that is the way I want to move forward, I can find my answers. And it may be slower than the way that I'm used to moving because it's a new way to do it. So that's okay. I give myself permission to upgrade my process. And I give myself permission to release the pressure of any expectation of how it has to be. I trust in my success. Maybe it's time I trust and the right way to reach it. The right way for my success. Finding my way. And as I continue to be curious and give myself permission to try things out, I choose throughout the whole process to deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause on tapping and take a deep breath. Take just a moment and notice how you feel. Think about how you felt before we started tapping, when you thought about procrastination, being stuck. And notice if you feel different now, if you feel maybe a little less affected by that procrastination, if you feel more curious, you feel more positive, if your body itself feels a little lighter, you feel energy moving around your hands or your body feels tingly, if you were smiling, sighing, crying, having ideas during the tap, those are all positive signs that something that you said connected to that wiring in your subconscious brain and said, oh, no, I like this. Let's switch that and use that from now on. So, congratulations. Good job. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see what we're going to tap on next. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. That the sound bleeped out. Thank you for letting me know right away, Mama Hedge. I'm glad it came right back. Okay. Yeah, Helen. It sounds like you figured it out. Imagining it is perfect. It's actually been clinically studied, and it is a viable way to tap. So, way to go on that. If you didn't know that, that's excellent. Opposite of procrastination, always striving for solutions. Reading through the comments. Oh, feel much better. Yay. I'm so glad. Learned about my feelings and fears around success. Yay. Congratulations. Good job. Way to go. Alrighty. Let's see what else. I'm just scanning through from the top again. Okay, a few for pain. Let's go ahead and do pain. And oh, let's see. My EFT for hypervigilance and existential crisis. Okay. Yes. And I would say for this, if we're tapping on pain, that's definitely, you could switch out a word that would match more of what you're feeling in your body. For this, where I'm going with this, I think that this will address what you asked for. If you are having physical pain in your body, then this is where the tap would help with that. So go ahead and focus in on your body and just sensations that you're feeling. If it's more of an emotion, like if you're feeling a panic or like a grief or a depression, feel where you feel those emotions in your body. If you just, you're just thinking so much and your head's just spinning, then that's where your focus would be. If you feel it in your heart, if you feel it in your stomach, or if you've got leg pain. So whatever that discomfort is, something that is, it's not normal, it's not within balance for you, it's disruptive for you, it's overwhelming, and maybe you're not quite sure how to get rid of it, even if you know where it's coming from, but then like, how do I get it off me? Whether it has an apparent solution or not. Okay. So first of all, focusing on that can be a lot. So let's go ahead and take a breath. Okay, and I'm going to tap up here on the collarbones. Please feel free to tap wherever you feel is best for you. As I focus on this pain that I have in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though, as I focus on this pain, I'm overwhelmed and it's a lot, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though, as I focus on this pain, I have a lot of emotions about it, when all I want is for it to go away. And I don't know how to do that yet. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, What's my belief around this pain? What knowledge do I have? What do I tell myself is true because of this pain? What words do I constantly hear when I feel the pain? Do I feel I'm not safe? Things are wrong? Nothing's okay? I'm scared? I'm broken? I need help? I don't know what to do? I feel small. I feel helpless. I feel hopeless. What am I telling myself? What words, what meaning do I feel is so true when I feel this pain? Even if some or all of those words feel immovably true, I choose right now to wipe them clean, to let them go. I choose to disconnect every single word that I have attached to my pain. Even if they're real, even if they're accurate, they'll come back. It's not like I'm being in denial by doing this. I'm clearing my slate. It's gotten real busy in here. I'm going to make it quiet. I choose to really allow the space around my pain to become quiet. Release. I release every definition that I currently have connected to this pain. Let's take a breath. Now focus in on the pain. And we're just observing. We don't need to fall down deep into it. We don't need to get engulfed by paying attention to it. We're observing. Because now it's quiet, quiet surrounding this pain. Let's be curious. I wonder, what would this pain say to me if it had a message? If it was a messenger, and no more than that. Doesn't mean anything about me as a person, nothing about my future, just a voice in my body. What would it want me to know? Because isn't it true that pain is a signal in the body? And it's not meant to be one of fear or dooming intensity. Like if something's hot, it's painful so that I move away from it. If I step on something and it's sharp, it's painful so that I stop stepping on it. It draws my attention. This pain. Okay, so if pain is to draw attention, Isn't it also true that it's to draw my attention to be helpful? No, no, this pain is insulting. It's angering, it's gross. I don't like it. I don't want it. That's insulting to me to say that it's helpful. Absolutely not. Even if it's very valid for me to feel any or all of these things about my pain, I choose to receive and accept those and continue to be curious. I'm not looking to invalidate myself right now. I'm simply wondering, could I have an insight if I just poke around and look at this a different way? So I wonder if there were a message of protection, of safety, of concern that could exist in this space, what could that be? And not that pain is a place of safety, pain is a place of pain, but is my body looking to tell me something because of it? My body, this pain in my body, my thoughts about this pain, messages, messages from my body, messages from my body to help with this pain. As I consider what wisdom, what insight, what support I might find as I ask my body about this pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, all of those other words, all of those other thoughts and concerns that were in my body when I started this tap, were they helpful? Yes. No. I don't know. Well, if I don't know if they're helpful or not, maybe I can try something else. Maybe I will radically try putting my own stuff in there and surrounding it. Because the truth is, I don't have an answer yet. I don't know yet. I'm trying, and maybe I have support of other people trying. I'm working towards a solution. If I don't have one yet, and maybe it matters, doesn't it make sense for me to choose whatever messages I want in my body? Messages in my body. Well, but messages have to make sense. They have to be logical and they have to be linear and they need to correlate with symptoms and other outcomes of other people that have had similar things. Even if that does make sense to me, I wonder, does that have to be true? Because what's the point of those messages? Is it for comfort? For guidance? Okay. To what outcome? What if I give myself permission to have whatever input I want? Like even the craziest thing. What if I plant a little mind garden around my pain? What if I see my pain, wherever it is in my body, as like a volcano? Hmm. And then I create a beautiful landscape around it. Maybe I put a beautiful sea around it and plants that grow, just these exotic, gorgeous plants. Because that volcano is really fertile, it grows things really easily. Maybe I see it as a dark, heavy place. So I put stars there and I allow myself to have beautiful constellations. And maybe this won't give me a full answer, but what if it feels better? Isn't it true that any amount that I can give to myself to feel better, to alleviate pain, is what I'm trying to do? And yes, there's comfort in logic, there's comfort in normal, but there's also comfort in success. And maybe there's comfort in trying, in curiosity, in fun, because maybe I'll find 100% success. And maybe I don't, but maybe I can give myself a little bit right now. And if I can, then I do. I choose it. Choosing my support, choosing my environment, choosing the words in my body, choosing the narrative for this pain. Permission for this narrative to be part of a solution rather than adding to the problem. As I continue to seek other methods for a solution. My environment. This pain in my body, my environment in this body. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause tapping and take a breath. And take just a moment. Check back in on that pain. Is it less? Is Does it feel more distant? Do you feel more relaxed, more calm, more at peace? Do you feel a little bit more positive? If you were sighing, crying, shifting, taking deep breaths, giggling, getting lost in thought that felt really positive, all of those are signs that your brain said, ooh, I really like where this is going. Let's start connecting in that way. And your brain will continue to build those connections, even though you're not tapping on it anymore. So really good job. All right, I saw the chat moving quite a bit. I'm going to scan and then we'll do like a quick few minute like wrap up tap. Things just obsessed. Okay. Not speedy anymore, Cherry. One step at a time. What I will offer to you for that, saying something to yourself like, I have to do one step at a time, it sounds like it's a lesser thing, right? I've reached a place in my life where I can do one step at a time, and that's enough. Maybe before I had to do like 20 steps, but I've succeeded to a point in my life where it's okay for me to do one step at a time. I still get there because I have the knowledge, I have the ability, I have the experience. Okay. I don't know why I say do when I think because I just don't want it to be awkward silence while I'm scanning through the comments. I'm funny sometimes. That's humor is good sometimes in tapping. It can be a really great release. Oh yay, birds, sunrises, sunsets, mind garden, yay. Oh, crying, yay. Good, good, good. Yay. Stars around the dark. Yeah, I love that visual too. Okay, it was raging beast now. It's growling, but not raging. Good. And I love that you have a beast. I would suggest maybe having tools for your beast, like maybe like a hairbrush thing, or like the little massager mitts that they have for animals now. Like I wonder if that would help like relax that beast. I love the visual that you're seeing. If there are things that you could tame the beast with, um, sleeping powder, so make it go to sleep. All right, let's go ahead and do a closing tap. So go ahead and tap on whatever spot feels good to you. As this tapping session comes to an end, and I consider the progress that I've made, and I consider all of the unmade progress, all of the things that still linger, I wonder, what if I allowed the progress that I made today to be dynamic? What if it's not like a little moving block, just something that I shifted? What if it's something that I planted? What if it's something that blooms, that grows, that expands? What if it's something that multiplies, that continues to spread and have an influence? Isn't it true that my brain does that all the time anyway? I mean, I'm mostly unaware of what's happening in this body, right? Especially the things that are going well. That's how I'm designed to be. It sure seems like all of the negative things are so much more apparent. But maybe that's because I'm not designed to have all the good stuff step into my way all the time. But that doesn't mean it's not there. My blood is flowing, my lungs are inhaling, my organs are organing. so many things are going right, and they continue to go right. So, what if, even though I didn't tap on everything today, what I did tap on today continues and it grows and expands and allows me to feel better, even in spaces I didn't touch on today? That is just the nature of how I work. It's how this body works. And I trust that the things that I've tapped on today work the same way. So, as I wrap up this tapping session, I lean in with full trust, full support of the expansion of the seeds that I've planted today. And I am excited to have it revealed to me, of whatever type, all of the positive influences that happen as a result. This tapping session, expansion, my results. And as I go throughout the rest of today and this week and this month, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause tapping, take a deep breath. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for being here this week. I thoroughly enjoy getting to spend this time with you. I hope that you feel seen and heard, that you feel better. I love that you're a part of this community. It matters that you're here. I hope that I get to see you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. If I don't get to see you next week, it's always recorded. You can always catch up. Also, you can always reach out to me if you have questions, if you need to follow up on something. I oftentimes use our conversations for the Friday videos that I post, and there's always comments about something being helpful. So just know that you are assisting others when you give yourself permission to ask for what you need. So I love you. Mwah. Take care, and I hope to see you next week.